Coach, how's the group looking? Are they progressing like you're hoping?
Oh yeah. With some of the injuries to Garmin, it's opened up the door for Tony and Jackie Marshall to get a lot more reps. Victor Obi. So yeah, man, just excited. I mean, those guys are really progressing and taking advantage of the opportunity that's in front of them.
Caleb,
Yeah.
what was that opportunity like for you at the end of last year? I mean, after Joey left, just to kind of step in there and take over that spot.
Man, it was crazy because I just thank God because I definitely felt prepared. I didn't really feel like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and especially with it being Oklahoma week. I just started with first asking Coach McGuire, like, hey, what's the feel for the room? And after that, I just, met with those guys, and a lot of them I knew. I had worked with Gorman when I was working with Coach Dennis Johnson with the D-line. So I worked with Gorman. I had worked with Matt. So, it was kind of like I stepped into the room, and like I said, the vibe and the feeling, those guys loved each other, so it was awesome. But as far as like me, myself, I just felt like, hey, I've been around great coaches for a long time with, playing for Coach Roberts and GAing for Coach Aranda, so I just felt like, just this is what you've been preparing for, just make the most of it, put a good product out on the field and don't let the team down.
And really, what a great time to come in because you got to coach a Big 12 championship game,
Yeah.
Sugar Bowl. I
Yeah.
mean, that had to be some really good experience. For
Oh
you.
yeah. I remember being in the box during the Big 12 championship. Like, man, this is crazy. Like, I'm about to walk into a Big 12 championship. Like that first half, it seemed like couldn't nothing go wrong. I mean, we 17 for 17. Like, defense got 3 picks. I'm like, oh man, my first game, I'm finna walk into a Big 12 championship. And then that second half, I was like, see, this is the real. I was like, this is what it's really like. I mean, but I mean, shoot, that fourth down stop, man. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the best experience ever.
Yeah. And then the way they played in the Sugar Bowl. that'd
Yeah,
be really
yeah,
cool to
10
see.
sacks, man, 10 sacks,
Yeah.
and just proud of them guys because, a lot of the game plan was really on the F position and the jacks being able to really two-gap on the edge, and, man, they just bought into it. Matt, Garmin, they really just bought into the technique we was teaching, and it showed up big time. I mean, they had multiple tackles and TFLs just from being able to play primary to secondary, so that was huge. Actually, most of like the clinic talks I've done this off season, I've talked about that. I've talked about just that technique and how it showed up late in the season. Yeah.
I think Coach Roberts said, did Tony get hurt during camp or something last year?
Yes. Yeah, right before the season started last year,
he said he was kind of in position to
Yeah.
really play.
Yeah, he was in a prime position, and even talking with him as he came back later in the year, he was just saying like, hey, I don't really know if I could go full speed on it. So that's been one of the things I think he's just been most grateful for and thankful for. This spring ball is like get back to full speed, kind of picking up where he left off, and it showed. He's playing pretty hard right now, and he's putting it all out there. Yep, he's been running with the one group most of spring ball, with Garmin's injury, and he's been taking advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah. What's Garmin's deal?
First he got his wisdom teeth removed. So he went through like the first week of spring ball, got his wisdom teeth removed. First practice came out flying around, got the biggest smile on his face, making plays, and in 9:07 he fractures his hand.
Oh, okay.
So, it's just one of those deals where not requiring surgery, so they keeping him out, but they don't want him to bang it and then the bone kind of shifts.
Okay.
So they just want the bone, I guess, to fuse, and so I think he'll be back able to do some contact the week of the spring game, but but he's still in it. He's being a leader. He's in meetings, really being vocal, and during the scrimmage last week, I think Tony and Jackie made a play earlier, made a mistake earlier, and it was just like, hey, them being young guys having to understand, hey, I got to move on to the next play. And he was really a big advocate in saying like, hey, it happens all the time. Keep playing it. It showed up because they was able to finish the scrimmage off strong instead of just letting that one play, turn into a momentum, a snowball effect.
I was trying to remember, is Jackie a walk-on or is he an actual scholarship?
Yeah, Jackie is a scholarship player. Yeah, he is a scholarship
When did
player.
he come in?
He came in after fall camp last year. Yes, sir. Yep, he came in after fall camp from Louisiana. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you see from him?
Man, explosive as can be. He's like a freaking rolling ball of butcher knives. Like it's like for him to be that big and to move as well as he does, and like such twitch. It's like he shouldn't be able to do that, but he does. So the main thing that I've really learned from him this spring is the more reps he gets, the better player. I mean, the better he is, because with him it's all just knowing what we're doing, getting better at how we're doing it. But it's like I say, the more comfortable he feels, the more and more he's just making plays. He's a very productive player. He just has to, continue to learn the system.
I think those weights must be a little off.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think on the
it had
scale, I don't know what it's like
235.
235. Yeah,
He's
nah.
like 250, 260.
Yeah, yes sir,
Yeah,
sir.
he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy, but solid
His
though.
way into end or
Nah, I hope not.
yeah,
I hope
you
not.
want him there.
Yeah, I want him at Jack. Yeah. But like I say, the more reps he's getting, the better player he's becoming. And like I say, he's just taking advantage of the opportunity in front of him this spring. Yeah, so it's just exciting time, man. I remember it was a time during, when we was lifting weights and just looking at them dudes. I'm like, man, like I'm blessed. Like, you got Victor Obi, you got freaking Garmin Randolph, you got Jackie, you got Tony, you got Will Garner. I'm like, Prince. I'm like, man, look at these dudes. And then you got Bryson. Bryson is probably our best returning pass rusher. So it's like, I'm like, come on, man. It don't get much better than this.
Is he double training some inside?
Yeah, he's training some inside, and it's helping him. It's really helping him just get the whole picture. Instead of him just being a pass rush guy, we will be able to utilize him more on third downs. Like, okay, now we showing him here, because he's gonna be the main guy with him being the best returning pass rusher. He gonna probably be the main guy that people looking at next year. Like, okay, just block him. Like, if we could block him, we probably could work out the rest. So.
You talked about it a little bit, but how comfortable are you with, like you said, you played for Ron,
Mm-hmm.
you were a GA with Dave. I mean, how comfortable are you in that role, I guess?
Man, really comfortable, and I really appreciate, I just feel like sometimes, like, Coach Roberts really helps me out a lot by just telling me the real, hey, this is what we need to work on, these are the techniques I think you should, kind of introduce to the group. And, he doesn't really hold back any of that, thinking I got an ego or none of that, because it's like, I played for him, so. And then, like I say, with Coach Aranda, just soaking it all up. I mean, as this GA, I felt like, man, like, this is crazy. I went from coaching, my B team basketball to, I got a call from Coach Roberts saying Coach Aranda was looking for a GA, and I'm like, what? Like, and I left high school ball and went to LSU, and I just remember the first day pulling up, like, that's Tiger Stadium. And I remember, like, I'm sitting at my little GA desk, and I see a playbook that say Young on it. It's like LSU defense. I'm like, man, this can't be happening right now. So, and I still never really lost that little aura. Like, man, I'm still working with Ron Roberts and Dave Aranda, and my first full-time job as a position coach is at a Power 5 school. It's like, that bliss hasn't left yet.